Today we are going to be learning about CSS. So what is CSS? CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. It is used for styling the web page. It is used for adding colors, background image, and some other style to your HTML file. So let's look at some basic HTML styling. So we're going to be writing and adding H3. So this is an heading. Then we're going to give it a style. So the first thing you have to note is that CSS comes with inline CSS, internal CSS, and external CSS. We're going to be looking at the three CSS. So the inline CSS is always input inside the start tag of an element, and it's always denoted with the style attribute. So, and once I've written my style, then inside the style I'm going to give the style I want to give to that element. So let's say I want to give this a font size of around 35 pixels. And I want it to be aligned to the center. Align, okay, no, text align. So the text align is going to align the text to the center, and the font size is going to change the size of the text for it to be more bigger or smaller. I don't know. So until we check it out. So I can also add some color, which changes the color. The default color of a text is black, so I can just change it to orange. So this is an inline CSS, and let's check out what we've done with the inline CSS. So this is it. This is an heading. Okay, let's try to add some margin at the top here of 30 pixels. Then when we refresh, it's going to come down a little bit. Then let's just remove this inline CSS and add an internal CSS. The internal CSS is always noted with the style element. Style element is always at the head tag, while the inline CSS is always inside the start tag, while the style element is always inside the head tag. So we're going to give it a font size of 35 pixel. Okay, so after writing the style element, we are going to select the elements you want to style. In CSS, we have some few things. We have the selector and we have the declaration. So the selector is the elements you want to select, or class or attributes. Or let me just say attributes. So I want to select the h3 element. So I'll just write h3, then a curly brace. Inside the curly brace contains the declaration. So the declaration is divided into two. That is the property and the value. So the property I want to give is a font size, and the value is 30 pixel. Another property again, and the value, that's a color. I want orange. Let me give it some align to the text property. And I'm going to give it a center value. Then after that, I can give it some margin at the top, and I'm going to say 30 pixel. So I've selected the H3, so and I can save also. So once I refresh, can you see this? The size we used the other time, it is much bigger than the one we use currently. So when we increase the font size, the size of the text is going to increase also. So let us remove this one, or let's just comment it out. And we can also use a CSS called external CSS. So what is external CSS? External CSS means we are going to create a file called styles.css. So it's an external CSS, which is a file that will be located inside your website folder. So let's just create a new file as Ctrl N, and we are going to save. Make sure you are saving into the folder you want to save into. So I'll just say style.css. Then I save. I'm going to make sure I'm saving with .css. So the internal CSS and the external CSS are similar. It's just that the external CSS does not need any style elements. All you have to do is just write the selector and the declaration. So I'll just select the element I want to style, that's H3. Then the curly brace. Then inside the curly brace contains the declaration, and declaration is divided into two, which is the property and the value. So the property of the H3, a font size of 35 pixel, color of orange, then text align to the center, then margin top around, let's say, 30 pixels. And also add text decoration to capitalize. Sorry. So let us refresh and see what we have. Okay. We are getting this because we've not linked our CSS to HTML. So this is an external CSS. So for this to work, for all these declarations and values to work, we have to link them with this HTML file. And to link them, you need an element called link element. Then inside the href, that's going to be the style.css. That's just it. Then I'm going to refresh. Can you see it goes back to its normal state? This is the basic styling of CSS. We already talked about internal CSS, inline CSS, and external CSS. So let us go deep in styling our web page. So let's create a paragraph, and we are going to create a class of paragraph. Inside the paragraph, let's write lorem. Then we save. In some cases, if you have more than one paragraph element, the best idea to use is by using a class attribute. Let's say you want to select a p element, and you have more than one p element. That means the style will be added to all the p elements. So to avoid that, you can use a class attribute. So I'll be copying that, and I'll paste it in my external CSS. And before you style a class attribute, you must write a full stop. Then after the full stop, you can now write your selector as a paragraph attribute. Then we are going to give the paragraph a font size of 19 pixels. then font family of Arial, then you can just say align, text align center, and let's see. Okay, let's change the color to something like blue. Can just change it here. Let's change it something like this, and we save. Then this is it. So you can also add some margin to the left. So that's going to be around, let's say, 20 pixels, and margin to the right 20 pixels also. That's going to shift this text, going to shift at the right and at the left also. Can you see it's already shifts? Or maybe I did not notice. Okay, you can also add. Okay, let's add another one called the ID attributes. Let's add another paragraph. ID. Sorry, this is a class attribute, and this should be ID attributes. So inside the ID, we're going to have the ID name. Let's just say second paragraph. Then you copy the ID name and paste it. You know, before we style the class attribute, we added a full stop. But for the ID attribute, we are going to add an hashtag. An hashtag is used to style the ID attribute. So you can just say we've not written anything inside the paragraph. Then we can just copy this and paste it. Can you see? So this is CSS for you.